Hi, my name is Angus Ho with Daddy Dat, a part of the Ash Management Group. I want to show how you can budget as a full-time engineer, make real estate investments, and live an exceptional family life as a dad. So, come along with me in this journey of wealth. Have you ever heard of all the horror stories about tenants trashing the place? The tenant just up and left without even letting you know. Well, I have good news for you. Today, I want to share some of my experiences on picking the perfect tenant and to minimize the risk of getting the worst tenant ever, as I've described in this video. Let's get started. The first step is to choose a tenant with good credit. Checking a tenant's credit score is important. It can tell you a lot about how intelligent they are in using their money. People with higher credit scores tend to make better decisions on how they spend their money. Lower credit scores tell me they had financial difficulty. This hardship will eventually translate to their ability to pay rent, and this is the last thing any landlord wants. There are two ways to do a credit check: run a credit check and verify income. My favorite all-time tool to run prospecting tenants for a credit score is creditkarma.ca. Credit Karma offers many tools like credit monitoring, education, and reporting. The best part of all, that it's free. I highly recommend this tool if you are just starting out to be a landlord. The other way that I've seen people do is ask for 3 months bank statement. This will help you verify the income on their application. Using this information, you have to make sure the income to rent ratio makes sense. Many websites say that the rent should be somewhere between 25 to 40%. I think this number is important because if a large majority of their income goes to rent, the tenant will most likely default on their rent payments, then to sacrifice their lifestyle. It's hard to say, however, and it's important to use this value on a case-by-case basis. For my properties, I allow up to 40% of the household income. On to step 2. Look at the tenant's rental history. One of the things I started noticing with renters is that when they have a problem with their current landlord, they go to find a new place to live. However, when they move to a new house, they will bring the same baggage, the same problem they had with the previous landlord, to you, the new landlord. So make sure that you do a tenant rental history check. Call their current landlord to figure out what they have to say. Listen to their story, and when they try to play down their story, just remember they may also be trying to get rid of the tenant. The best thing to do when you're doing a landlord reference check and they have concerns is to dig deeper. Ask the landlord, "I was told this. Could you tell me a little bit more?" Ask questions like, "Tell me more." Once you have the full story, ask yourself the question of, do you want to deal with this? There will be noise, dirtiness, complaints, and the previous landlord is a good place to ask any details about all these questions. Then it will be up to you to decide where is your threshold. Typically, a well-written application will give you all the tenant's rental history so you can make the best decision. If you're a big property management company and have tons of money, there are landlording bureaus that keep a giant database of tenants and their rental history. These kind of service will cost, and they may or may not have the tenant in their database. You can also find local landlording Facebook groups that you can ask if they have heard of this person before. Just remember that social media will present you with many opinions. The next step is to choose a tenant who is stable. On the application form, you want to make sure the tenant that you're moving in is stable. I hear things like, "I'm fighting the previous landlord in court over my damage deposit," and "I'm looking for a long term and I hate moving around." I have begun to notice that these sayings mean that they will be bringing troubles to your house as well. For the first statement, they have been through the legal system. before and they know how it works. For the second statement, it tells me they have moved from house to house a lot and they won't have any issues leaving your house once they move in. The most stable tenants I've found are people that are excited to see the house and love the things that they see at the house. If this person comes by, make sure that you don't make them wait and answer all their questions immediately. A stable tenant is a person who pays rent on time. This is the most important thing, as chasing tenants for money is awkward. Stable tenants also give 30 days notice to leave and don't just pack up and leave. Other things I look for in tenants is that they treat your property well, fix nuisance issues, and doesn't cause property damage. They are also clean and they don't frequently complain. The most important step is step 4. Trust your instincts. Nothing is more important than trusting your gut. At the end of the day, come good or come bad, it will be you that will need to reward or punish the tenant. How well you can work with them will highly come from your first impressions. It's very tough to know somebody when you meet someone for 15 minutes. Some of the things you want to consider is how they dress when they show up. I've had people range from second-hand thrifty clothes to shirt and tie. Sometimes you'll also have people come through in construction clothes and work uniforms. These can be very telling if they're lying on the application of their job. Listen to the way they talk. If they say anything that is offensive to you, it will most likely be offensive to the neighbors. Always remember that when you are debating with yourself whether this is a good tenant or not, the number one thing to rely on is your first gut feeling. Don't try to justify yourself into accepting someone you're not comfortable with. Just right in the end, those dislike trolls have finally shown up again. Help me smash that like button now to get rid of them. Ah! They're coming after me! Smash that like button! Alright, thanks for helping me out. Now, I want to share with you that by selecting the right tenant is part of the ASH method of house. By following the ASH method, it will help you reach that dream goal of yours faster, whether if it's that dream house that you've always wanted. Travel the world without worry. Be financially independent and retire early. Just remember, anyone can do it. Even me, who is just an everyday dad who budgets and work hard as an engineer to stay out of debt. Then, one day, I discovered the ASH method and strategically invested it in the real estate and the stock market. Because of that, I can now run a side company and manage over $3 million in properties. Because of that, he can now travel the world with his wife every year and live in a 2,000 square feet house, until finally he became a millionaire. Actually, 90% plus of the way there. Make sure you ask any questions in the Daddy Dat Facebook group. Also, comment below any questions you may have about tenants in the comment section down below. If you'd like to hear more budgeting, engineering, or real estate tips, please leave a comment down below on what you want to hear. Smash that like button, subscribe button, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I post new videos every week on Wednesday and Sundays. From the Ash Management Group, this is Daddy Dat saving you money.